With Jared Bowen, Destiny Udogie, Matty Cash and Erling Haaland all being flagged, I've got a lot on my plate this week. Here is my Game Week 13 team selection. Starting off then with my goalkeeper and defenders. Udogie and Matty Cash, as I said, are flagged at the moment. Matty Cash's flag isn't showing in draft time, but he's 75% likely to play apparently with a knock. I've got to say, I think Matty Cash will be fine. Destiny Udogie's the player I'm a little bit worried about. Martinez and Mitchell, I'm just going to have to play those. Fortunately, I've got Jamal Lascelles on my bench. I'm going to start with Udogie. Hopefully he plays against Villa. I think he's slightly better as an option than Lascelles this week. When you look at the clean sheet odds, it's looking really unlikely that many defenders this week are actually going to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going based on likelihood of an attacking return. I think Udogie v Villa has got more of a chance than Lascelles. However, if we get news that Udogie's out again, I'm not in any rush to sell him because I think he's a good option season long and I don't think the injury is going to keep him out long term. And I do feel like Jamal Lascelles is a perfectly decent replacement just to come in as a sub. Onto my midfield, and we'll get to Bowen in a second because he's causing me a real headache. I've got Eze, Saka, Gordon and Salah. I'm really happy with those four. Anthony Gordon at some point could become Cole Palmer if Jared Bowen doesn't already. I really like Gordon though for the next few game weeks. I think he's got a good chance of some attacking returns over those. Eze, again, really like him for the next few game weeks. Luton, West Ham and Bournemouth. Three of the worst teams defensively in the Premier League. Eze being on penalties, free kicks, guaranteed to play 90 minutes. And with Elise coming back in the team as well, I think it only serves to improve Eze. Saka, I think, is always going to be a great FPL option. Brentford, Wolves and Luton in his next three. Expecting him to get some points against Brentford. As I already mentioned, Gordon and Salah. I'll put him as my vice captain at the moment. I'll get on to captaincy in a second. He's got Man City, obviously not a fixture to be selling him for because historically that's quite a nice fixture for goals. And then Fulham and Sheffield United in the next two. As I said, Jared Bowen has been causing me a real headache up ahead of Game Week 13. He's got a knee, knock/injury. It's fluid on the knee, which has been confirmed. Well, ex-West Ham employee on Twitter tweeted it yesterday. That's a really reliable West Ham insider Twitter account, so I trust what he has to tweet. It does mean, though, fluid on the knee could be anything. Well, he could play this weekend, or he could be out for up to a month after taking a knock on the knee like that. It really is how long is a piece of string with that injury. If he's looking to only miss one game week, I don't think it's worth selling him. However, if he's out for a long-term, sort of 2 or 3, 4 game weeks, I do think he's a sell. And here are my best replacements. Now, I wondered if you could do me a favour. If you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure to leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel as well, set the notification bell so you can see when I upload next. If you're really enjoying the video, please consider joining as a channel member. You'll get early access to all of my videos, and when I deadline stream, I'll give you priority when I rate people's teams in draft hand. You can also, if you want to support the channel in a different way, check out my shop down below. You can buy yourself a golden goal sticker or a mug. All right, back to the video. Now, I currently have Eberiche Eze, who personally over the next 3 game weeks, I think is the best replacement for Jared Bowen. However, I've already got him, so I can't go for him again. Cole Palmer is first up. 5.2 million will save me, well, 2.5 million on the price of Jared Bowen. Seems to be nailed in that Chelsea team. Could play, well, I think he is going to play when Nkunku's back. He's the current Chelsea penalty taker. Nkunku, I think, was the, well, most people thought he was the penalty taker when he first signed for Chelsea, but given how good Palmer has been, I just don't see Nkunku coming back and taking penalties off him. I think there is a myth around Palmer as well, being a penalty merchant. When you look at his open play stats, 1.7 non-penalty expected goals and 3 assists in the 6 starts that he's made. I think that proves that, obviously, he's scored 4 goals from penalties, but those stats prove that he is still dangerous from open play. Newcastle away, Brighton at home, and Man United in his next 3. I put in inverted commas their tough fixtures because Newcastle look pretty depleted at the moment, and given how badly they played against Bournemouth, you know, Cole Palmer could have a field day there. Brighton have not kept a clean sheet yet, and we all know how well Man United have been playing so far this season, so I wouldn't rule out those, in inverted commas, tough fixtures. Cole Palmer could still do well. My next replacement, and I think it's probably going to be one of the most popular guys, is Bryan Mbeumo. He is just consistently knocking out returns against all levels of opposition. He takes the penalties for Brentford, of course, with no Tony. He's guaranteed to start. He's one of the few outfield players in the league, well, other than defenders, that have played 90 minutes in every game so far. It's him and Bruno Fernandes that have done that. So yeah, he's just as nailed as it comes for outfield players. The underlying numbers are really good. 0.89 expected returns per 90. That means pretty much, well, because games are now far more than 90 minutes long, that means that he's pretty much guaranteed to get a return every time he goes out onto a football pitch. I just watch out for the blank in game week 18. We've got 5 game weeks until that time, so you could sell Mbeumo up until that point. You could free hit, but then he doubles in game week 20 when you probably want him back against Man City and Crystal Palace. The only thing kind of putting me off from Mbeumo is that he's got Arsenal at home up next. I think that's a really tough fixture for Brentford. However, when you look at the next 4 fixtures, Luton, Brighton, Sheffield United and Aston Villa, you could see him scoring in all of those. So yeah, Cole Palmer, Bryan Mbeumo, that's my decision at the moment. I think I'm just itching towards Cole Palmer. I'm actually going to do a little feature on Jarrod Bowen because if he is fit, I think he's one of the top players to be looking at bringing into your team this week. He just ticks, in my opinion, every box you could want in an FPL asset. He will get returns against any level of opposition. When he's fit, he's absolutely nailed for West Ham to play 90 minutes. His injury record is ridiculous as well. He's had 1 knock for 2 days in his entire career. That's his entire career's injury record. So even with this fluid on the knee, I don't think he's going to be out for too long. It might only be the 1 game week. That would be my guess. He just seems to get chances against every opposition that he plays. And I think of all the midfielders under 8 million, Jarrod Bowen is the best. I just think he's such a fantastic option. In those next 5 fixtures, even Spurs away now is not that tough without Van de Ven in their defence. Just a fantastic option. On now to the forwards, and there's not really a whole lot to decide, to be honest, beyond who to captain. Haaland and Watkins start for me. Armband currently on Haaland, but I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Now, when you look to the expected points there, Haaland came out on top by quite a large margin, but I do think it's much closer than that. Obviously, the 2 guys play each other, Haaland and Salah. Haaland being at home, Salah being away. When you look at the 2 defences, Liverpool have an expected goals conceded of 15.58. Man City 11.27. So that would suggest that the Liverpool defence is significantly worse at the moment than the Man City one. Looking at their comparative stats, obviously Haaland's got more goals, Salah slightly favouring more assists. Haaland's got better expected returns per 90, but I think with the fact that Salah scores more points every time he scores a goal than Haaland does, I think those stats kind of even out in terms of FPL language. So really what you make the decision on, in my opinion, is who you think has the best fixture. And given that they're playing each other at the Etihad, I think that means Haaland has the best fixture. And for that reason, he's my captain. Alright, and that's the end of the video. Quite a lot to think about in my FPL team. And I imagine you watching this probably have some similar decisions to make yourself. So hopefully, hearing what I'm thinking about doing helps you out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like rating. Subscribe to the Golden Goal channel, which should be just there. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do with my team. And I'll catch you in my next video.